Become a Patreon of Jeva today and receive a ton of perks including Discord roles, early access content, private support channels, code snippets, and more. Join today at patreon.com/JevaJS. Okay, so what is up, guys? My name is Zua from Jeva. Today I'm gonna be slowing things down. I know I've been doing maybe some advanced things for some people, and some people just do not even understand what I'm doing. So I'm gonna be continuing this series back to the basics. I think it was FiveM scripting 12 or 11. I don't know, but I tried slowing things down for slower users, and that wasn't even good enough. Or that video was not that good, but I can do a better job, and I'm just gonna start from the beginning here for this series, back to the basics. So pretty much what I'm gonna do is just today in this episode, I'm just gonna be showing you how natives work in FiveM. You might have heard them, but natives are pretty much code that was already written for the environment. You know, they're functions that were predefined when you're in this environment. So these GTA 5 natives will only work in this environment, which is FiveM, and anything else, or if it's outside, it will not work. It'll only work in FiveM. So I'm going to be showing you just basic things on what a native really does. So I mean, there's a bunch of things. There's a bunch of natives. As you can see, this list goes all the way down. And there are a bunch of categories, so I'm just going to be showing you the categories. There's CFX, which is what was made for FiveM, that was added by FiveM. There's app, which is from GTA 5, and the rest are, you know, there are a ton of categories, but they go down for a long time, and you can see that this is how you pretty much interact with the game. There are so many natives to use, so let's get right into it. I'm going to be using this. I don't even have a script for this video. I don't have any way of structuring this video, so I'm just going to be doing it with you guys. But I've pre-made this script called eval, or it's a command that pretty much lets me execute JavaScript through the chat, which is not a good idea. I just made this. This code is actually in our private. It's in our private channel for Patreons. Patreon.com/JevaJS if you want to ever become one. But yeah, so this pretty much lets me, you know, it says it right here. It lets me execute anything in JavaScript, and I wrote this in JavaScript just because. But it's the same thing as Lua when we're just talking about natives. So I'm going to be showing you get player head, which is a native. This is probably one of the most important natives because you're essentially getting the player that you are sourcing it to. So if I were to click enter, it would return a number, which is my unique number for this, at least. So if I were to this unique number will work in a lot of things, so I'm gonna actually be showing you. I'm also doing this. I don't want you to write anything with me. I mean, if you want, if it helps you, go ahead. But I just want to show you how these natives work. So I'm gonna be. This is already a blank file. Where is it? Yeah, it's in a resource that we made, or actually that I made before the video. So pretty much, I'm just gonna be writing. I'm going to be showing you natives. So get player ped. Let's see where we can use here. I'll show you. Get player ped. So this returns a or it doesn't. It returns a number, but it's still it uses your player's source. So if I were to do like register command, and then I do, let's call it. What should I do? I'll just do player. This is I'm registering a command to my server right now, so I'm gonna be using the two arguments, source and args, and then I'm gonna click n, or I'm gonna type an n there. So that pretty much just registers a command. Follow the syntax. This is also a native in FiveM. I'll actually show you. Register command, it has the command name, which is the first parameter. I'm going to show you how you can like actually use these natives. So you can see that the first parameter is the command name, which is a string, and we put that in a string. The handler is a function. You can see that there's a function, and then restricted. Right here you can see what restricted does, but we're not going to do anything with ace permissions, so we don't even need to do that. So I'm going to do I was gonna show you we're going to print this is a native Lua function, so it'll come in any version of Lua print, which pretty much just outputs anything into the command log or into just the log. So I'm going to do get player head -1. I have to follow syntax here. Get player head is in function, and then you put a -1, which is sourcing it to you. But you can see here, I'll restart. Actually, I don't even need to do it there. I'll restart basics, which is the thing that we're using. I forgot a parentheses. What did I do? I put in one more extra. Let me restart that. Okay, so this will when I do /player, it'll print out my unique player ID that we will be using. So I'm gonna do /player, and if I go into the F8, which is my client console, you can see that it prints out the 258 here. I don't know if you can see that well, but it'll print that out there. And if I were to do so pretty much when you do register command, it uses, or it handles two parameters. So the args, which is whatever you write after. We've talked about this in other episodes. It's whatever you write after the command as arguments, and source is the player that wrote it. So if I were to do source, it should theoretically return the same hash. Maybe let's see. Actually, I don't know. Do /player. Okay, so it does. It'll return the same exact unique number that it did when we wrote, or when we initially did it with -1. Okay, sorry about that. My computer just died there for a brief moment there. You can see that it's dying pretty hard here. But what I was gonna do was there's also another function native called player pet ID, and I prefer this one, but it's not good in some instance. But it just it doesn't require any parameters, so I guess it makes things simpler. It's just player pet ID. You put it in. I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna restart it. Actually, I don't do it through here. Restart basics, and when I do player. Oh yeah, by the way, if you do /player, it's the same thing as doing it in the console, so I'll just be doing it in the console. You can see that it returns the same player number. But I didn't even show. I don't remember where I left off on the last part of it before my computer kind of died. So I'm gonna do /die, and I'm gonna show you that the player pet ID, it pretty much, or it kind of makes a new thing every time you die. So this time it's 5. It's constantly going up. That's intended until I guess the server restarts. I don't know, or when you restart your game or rejoin. But yeah, that's how that works. Now I'm going to be showing you. I'm going to be using more natives. So natives that use the player source. So what we were doing here was initially we were just I'm gonna go find it. Get player. So we were doing get player pet, and we were using the source of us, which was right here. So now we could use natives like get player name, and it's using the same thing. So I'm gonna do get player name, and it says it uses the player source. So I'm just gonna be using it through the function. Or through this command here, so I'm just going to type in source, restart it, or sorry about that, restart basics, and then I'm going to type in player, and it's going to return my my name. I think that's Steam. I don't remember. I think it might be Steam, whatever your name goes off your name. Now let's see another native that let's try like get server ID. this will be like the same thing, and you can see it says right here CitizenFX API set. This is the client, and we've been using this main.lua. I made it in the client, just disregard that. But I'm gonna do get server ID, and then it'll be using my source. I'm gonna restart the resource, and then I'm gonna type in player, and you can see that my server ID, it's saying what I am server ID 1, and I can show you by, if you look right there, it says ID is 1. So I'm gonna do a couple more natives. Let's see here. You can do get registered commands. This doesn't require any parameters, it looks like, because you can see that there's nothing after it, but you can see that it's gonna return an array right here. Yeah, so let's try that. I'm gonna just copy that, and I'm going to print this. I think it's gonna return, this might not work because restart basics. Let me type in player. Yeah, it's gonna return a table because this is Lua, and in Lua you can't dump tables out like in JavaScript. But if I were to do this in JavaScript, in fact, let me just try that. Just disregard what I'm doing. I just want to show you that this array works. This is a little clear thing. Yeah, I just want to show you that there's nothing special about this. I'm just gonna change this to show, or actually, yeah, we'll just call it show. I just want to show you how this works. This is in JavaScript, so just disregard it. But if I were to do console.log, what we're doing, get registered commands, we're going to register, or it's going to show all the registered commands and pretty much what they do. So I'm going to restart basics, and I'm going to type in show, and you can see that these are all the registered commands. There are a ton, because you see this is help, from eval or evaluate, connect, cmd list. Yeah, there's a ton. You can see that works too. But yeah, okay. So pretty much, I'm going to be doing more into this. I'm gonna revert this back to what this was, a little clear script, just so we could clear the chat that I kind of forgot about. But I'm gonna be showing you what this player source now gets used into. So I'm going to be doing get vehicle. Now, we've done this before, but I never really explained in a good manner. So I'm going to do get vehicle ped is in. You could see that there's a get vehicle ped is using. By the way, I never even said anything about it. This website I will put in the description. I'm sorry, I completely forgot, but yeah, this is just like all the natives in FiveM. So there's one called get vehicle ped is in, get vehicle ped is using, and get vehicle ped is trying to enter. So I'm just going to be using get vehicle, or get vehicle ped is in. You can see that this requires a ped. It's using a ped parameter and a last vehicle parameter. So you can see that this is a boolean. It says it right here, and then this is this player source, or it's going to be something like that. So I'm actually going to make it, I'll make it printed out. I'll enter this just so you guys can see better. Excuse me. And now I'm going to type in get vehicle. In fact, I'm just going to copy it. Get vehicle ped is in, and I'm going to be typing player head. Actually, let me make sure that I'm doing this right. Player ped. Yeah, is there player ped? Yes. Okay, so you're supposed to use player ped ID. I'm gonna go back to where I was at right here. Player ped ID. We're using the player source again, which is also works as ped. I'm gonna be using player ped ID because I prefer that. And then the boolean says if it's false, if we make this false, then it'll be the current vehicle. If it's true, then it'll be the last vehicle we were in. So I'm just gonna make it false because I want it to be in the one we are currently in. So yeah, so when I actually run this, it should be giving me a null, or it should be giving me a value that doesn't really exist. So I'm gonna do restart basics, and I'm gonna be typing in player. yeah, it should be giving me something 0. So now let's go into this little vehicle right here. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna show you that the value is gonna change. So it's gonna be 0, and when I do /player now, it should be an actual number, and I think it should change. I mean, this number is definitely gonna be the same. I think. I never really looked into it. Yeah, it's gonna be the exact same. Wait, did I even save it? Yeah, okay. Okay, now if I were to go into this jet right here, it's gonna give me a different number. Let's go into that. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm gonna type in player, and it's giving me a different number because we are in a different vehicle. Okay, so now I'm going to be using a little bit of JavaScript, or not, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm going to be using a little bit of Lua logic here, so just to, maybe show you guys how, we'd actually want to use this. So if get player, so this number returns as 0 when there's no car in it, or when you're not in a vehicle. So I'm going to do if it's equal to 0, then end, and you always want to end your conditionals. So if it's equal to 0, then we're going to print not in a vehicle, and then if it is, we'll actually do else end, and then if it is anything else, then we're going to print that you are in a vehicle. So now I'm going to be showing you how that works. So if I were to do player, it says I'm not in a vehicle, but if I do go into there, yeah, now I am in a vehicle, because now I am in a vehicle. So that's pretty much that. I'm going to go back to what I was doing previously. Okay, so what else is there? There's so many natives, and I like to just show you the get ones because they're easy. They return numbers. Now, yeah, okay, that's what I was doing. Okay, I'm going way too far back. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to where I currently was. So this is gonna be the vehicle. The number that we're returning, that this native returns, is going to be used in what we're actually going to be. It's going to be used in wherever it uses the vehicle parameter. When you see vehicle here, so I'm actually going to. In fact, I'm just going to do local vehicle, or V just for short, is equal. We're going to store this in a variable, a local one, and we're going to actually be using it in another native where it requires the vehicle, like I just said. So there's a ton of them, so I'm going to be, let's just find one, I guess. Get vehicle fuel level. Let's see. I'm just going to right click that, and then we're going to, actually I'm going to make it print, because we just want to show the value, get vehicle fuel level. And then since it's using the vehicle as the parameter, I'm going to be using this because this returns a vehicle unique number, so, or hash, I don't know what the term is called, but this should theoretically return or give us the number of fuel. I don't even know how that, I've never used this native, so yeah, let's see. Type in player. Oh yeah, there's no such entity because we are not inside of the vehicle. I'm going to get into here. If I were to click do /player, you can see that it's 16.5. I actually don't know how, I'm pretty sure isn't fuel unlimited in GTA, so I don't think it like matters, but I just want to show you how that native works with vehicle parameters. Or yeah, it's probably going to be the same thing every time because it doesn't matter. Let's find another one that requires the vehicle. So this time we'll actually make it set. We'll make it set vehicle. Whatever uses the vehicle. So I'm gonna do set. Give me a second here. Actually, never mind. Sorry about that. Let's see here. I'm gonna do something. set vehicle. I wanted to find turbo pressure. Now we're gonna do current RPM. So I'm gonna be copying this, and it's gonna be setting the. I think this has to be run every thread. I'll go into threads next episode because this is already a long episode. I just want to show you how this works. So set vehicle. I'm gonna make it set it. So it's gonna require the vehicle parameter and then RPM as an integer. So we're gonna do v and a number. Let's just, I don't know the scale for this. I'll just do 900. Let's see how that works. And this native, if it has to be run, it might have to be run every frame. Let's see here. Player. Yeah, I think it has to be run every frame. But yeah. Actually, I don't know. Is this fast? Yeah, I actually do not know, but how about I should go in a car? Okay, that didn't really even spawn in anything. Oh, they did. I'm gonna do that again. There we go. Okay. I don't even know if it changed anything. Here, I'll make it a huge number. Okay. Yeah, I don't, maybe, I don't know. But I'll definitely go into more of this. It's just been a long video, and if you guys want another video explaining natives, just ask for it. Yeah, let me see if there's any more natives that might need me to like clarify. I mean, I just want to show you how it works. If it's asking for something like a vehicle, then it's gonna want something that returns a vehicle native. So, or vehicle number. Yeah, I just wanted to show that. Thank you guys for watching. That's kind of the end of the video, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe and like for more videos, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.